Given the rise of federal anti-immigration sentiment and the increasing diversity of our Sammamish communities, what are your thoughts on what City Council could do to protect the immigrant residents of Sammamish and make them feel safe? So we'll start with Councilmember Howe. 1 minute.
I wish I could do something to make people feel safe. As it is today, trying to stay as informed as I can is about the best I can do, and to try to provide links to services. For example, the Circle in Issaquah is the best place that I can refer people to today. That is a safe way for them to connect and feel seen, heard, and safe, and get the best advice. And of course, there's the Northwest Immigration Law Services as well. So we've had residents taken from Sammamish, put into detention in Tacoma, and then deported. And we feel powerless here. I mean, I can rail against, my legislators, and they can't give me much. What we can do is we can set aside funds to give to the on the ground, boots on the ground organizations to fund their services to help supply these folks that are detained with a a credit card so they can buy soap. So
Thank
we
you.
can fund that.
Thank you. Mrs. Treen?
Yeah, this is just one of those shocking situations going on in the country right now, and it's horrifying. I believe in supporting the families that are left behind as much as we support the people who have been arrested. I think it's really important to work with our local police to be sure we're doing everything we can to give people heads up that something's going on and give them an opportunity to take action themselves. I can tell you, even though I'm not likely to be approached by ICE, one of the first things I did when the last election took place is get my Canadian passport. Maybe we can help people get other ways to get out of town and not be here when those kinds of raids take place. It is absolutely horrifying. My husband teaches at-risk kids, and they're at risk of having their families destroyed.
Thank you. Councilmember Lamb?
So I think it's really important to support our immigrant community. We follow state law. We don't in any way go beyond that in helping ICE. I think it's important for us and as residents to understand what to do if they are approached by ICE. And I think to that end, I think it would be a good idea for our city to offer that information. I think it's important that we stay connected with our state representatives and our Congresswoman Schreier, so that when we hear of things happening, that we have like a direct line to them.
Thank you. Councilmember Gupta?
Yeah, this is scary. There was a story of a gentleman in Bellevue who was taken and who was a Microsoft executive, and his family couldn't find him for multiple days, right? I know it feels like we might be up on a hill a little bit, but this is affecting all of our communities. And I'm really proud that the council passed a resolution earlier this year supporting our immigrant community. I'm also really pleased by the messaging from King County Sheriff stating they will not deport undocumented immigrants. They will not ask about a person's citizenship or immigration status during routine interaction or at community events. And they will also support the Keep Washington Working Act, right? So I think it's great that we have support from our state and regional officials. I know it is sometimes challenging to trust the police, but I'm glad to know that we do have their support here. I know the library King County Library System has also been putting together citizens' rights packets. So if you are concerned, if you feel like you want more information, they're a great resource. Also, reach out to the city. We might not have answers, but we can put you in touch with people who do.
Mr. Amato?
Yeah, this is an exceptionally awful situation. I don't think people realize that this is what they were voting for. This is not okay. My wife works in HR in tech, and I hear from her everyday stories of people on visas having challenges. And it's not just with ICE, of course, that's awful, but every time the president sends out some bleat about immigration, it freaks people out. And we've got a lot of people in Sammamish who are scared to death about what's going to happen to them or their family members. And that's not a place where we should be. I think Sid's idea about having a resource available on the city website or others so people can go and even begin to figure out what they need to do is an excellent idea. I have a lot of faith in Governor Ferguson. He's shown that he's taken on Trump before, and I know he will again. And whichever candidate is elected to be King County executive will keep going with our sheriff's policy that someone mentioned before, which I think is excellent. Very limited amount that we can do on the council except be supportive and raise issues to those elected in positions above us that deal more directly with the situation. I empathize and I wish I could do more.
Thank you. Lastly, Mr. Yang.
Yeah, I actually think there's a lot the council can do to actually beat the drum on the issue, right? I would actually, and I hope if I was elected, my council members would be with me. I would actually do a press conference every time somebody from our community is taken or has faced issues and bang that drum. And I would want to hope that my council members will stand with me, right? I think the best thing we can do is just show how diverse our community is and how together we are on this singular issue, right? And to support our immigrant community and individuals and families, not only by telling their stories, but also sharing with the community how they can help, right? And on this issue, on other issues. And we're also very lucky in our community to have a community newspaper, the Sammamish Independent, right? And so if the Seattle Times is not covering, someone in our community, I can guarantee that the Sammamish Independent will. And that will allow the stories to spread and the advocacy to be stronger at the state level and the federal level with our representatives and our state officials. So I think we as a community can bang the drum as loud as possible if this hits our community, and I can promise you I will.
Okay.